Hello, how are you? I'm Helen Sadler, your Destiny Helper, and we wanted to talk this morning about narcissists and the money and the narcissists. You asked the question, why are narcissists so irresponsible when it comes to money? And I think that we need to get into what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with individuals who have a personality disorder. One of their traits, if they are grandiosity and they are totally self-centered, they're concentrated on themselves. So it doesn't matter what you deal with them, the concentration is on themselves. So money is a place, a thing of power, and it can be an element of control. So when you deal with a person who's totally self-centered and you bring in the principle of money, that can be catastrophe waiting to happen. The narcissist is an individual who loves control. They must be number one. They even prefer that you choose them above God, religion, family, children, even yourself. They don't care about you not taking care of yourself. What they do care about is you not taking care of them. So when you add in the money aspect of with the narcissistic relationship, because really the relationship is on your part, it's a narcissistic connection, because the relationship means there's some kind of mutual understanding, and the mutual understanding is they are in control and you are there to serve them, because their whole concept of you being in their life is servitude, to make their life easy, to make their life better, not your life. Your life is not to be considered. Your life can be in the way of their happiness. And what they call happiness is when they are torturing and they feel so empty and void inside. This is the only thing that gives them a sense of release is your pain. And so your pain gives them a sense of relief, a sense of comfort, for lack of a better word. So let's add in the concept of finances. Narcissists can be very controlling. They can be very abusive, even in the aspect of finance. They usually, when you're going through love bombing, initial stage, they're giving you gifts. A lot of people that get gifts based on the money aspect of the narcissist. It depicts what gifts you get, because a lot of narcissists will not just buy expensive gift. Initially, they start off with expensive gift, but as you continue their relationship, they don't even care. They just buy something to say they've done something. But when they are buying expensive gift, taking you out to an extravagant restaurant. Remember, I also did a video of how the narcissists don't want to be forgotten. So they make sure they train you in remembering them, and how they train you, which I will do a video on that. Train in memory. They train you by smell. They train you by sound. They train you by taste. They use all of your senses to train you to them, and and they want you to be addicted, because remember, having a relationship with them, it triggers the hormonal level, and it's off the scale. It triggers your blood pressure level off the scale, your stress level off the scale. And so you are always in an adrenaline rush. You don't know whether to stay or fly. You always wondering what is going to happen next. So when it comes to finances, if you meet a narcissist and you are well off financially, this narcissist has already manipulated in his mind how he's going to, or how she's going to get your money. So initially, the hook is to bait you in with gifts. They buy you all kind of gifts, take you to nice restaurants, take you to nice clothes, but that's your bill in the end. You are just tallying up your tab. And so based on the expensive gift they give you, that's your tab, or the amount that you're going to pay back plus more. And so they get back what they give you with interest. They affect your bank account. They affect any insurance policy, any inheritance. If you get child support from another child's father, they affect that. If you have a personal business, they affect your personal business. The narcissist does not leave any anything out of your finances. And that's why they're quick to marry. They meet you. They don't marry you in 2 weeks because they're not going to be faithful. They're not going to be loyal. They're not going to honor the covenant. Marriage means nothing to them. They would cheat and have a new supply within 2 weeks of the marriage, within a week of the marriage. So when they connect you to a commitment, that's a way of bringing finances on board. Now, when they marry you and you have finances that they want to obtain, they marry you, then they talk you into let's do the bank account. And then as you get going and continue the relationship, they'll say, well, I've noticed that you are not mentally stable. You need to put the finances in my name. And you will say, no, I would not put the finance. Well, if you don't put the finances in my name, they love bomb you a little bit more, get you more addicted. And they say, I notice you haven't been feeling well. Well, if you put it in my name, I'm going to invest our money and grow our money, or I'm leaving. Most of the narcissists would threaten you with leaving if you do not supply their needs, because many of them are so immature in their behavior. It's like a child with a temper tantrum, but they're having temper tantrum over your finances. And so they have finances, but they want your finances. If we put our finances together, now we're not talking together. You want to take over my finances, and you're using torment. And what they would do is go to the silent treatment. They don't talk to you. You're in the house. You're lonely. You want them. They keep sex from you. You in the bed. They turn their back on you. And so finally you say, well, what do you want me to do? And a lot of you have turned your finances over to the narcissist, and he just sucked up that finances. She sucked up the finances with no second thought. And you notice that you went from thousands of dollars to no money. And when you get no money, then he tells you how lazy you are. And the reason that you don't have any money, because if you will work, we can do this. And you're saying, but I gave you the money. You told me you were going to invest. I did invest, but you stressed me so. And because you stressed me so, I couldn't even think of what I was doing. I have been successful in the past, but with you, I can't do anything. So you get totally blamed for the money that you do not have. Or if a family member die and they leave an insurance policy, they hammer you, hammer you, hammer you. What did they leave? What did they get? What did they leave? What did they get? You know we're a family. You know we one unit. Tell me what you got. Don't keep nothing back. I don't keep anything back from you. You know they're lying. You got proof that they're cheating, but there's this fog that come in your mind, and you are forgetful. And I mean this brain fog and this stress. And then they start word salad. They just confuse, go in on you, go in on you, go in on you, go in on you, and tell you, well, I never told you that I didn't want you. I never told you I was leaving you. I told you I was going to be right here, and I'm here for the long run. You see that I'm here now, because then they go gaslighting, telling you how wrong you are, how crazy you are, that they love you. They will never leave you, and they keep on until they wear you down. You tell them how much money you got. And then when the money comes, they say, well, I need this. The family needs this. The next thing you know, 60,000, 250,000. And now you got 50,000. Now you got 20,000. Now your bank is overdrawn, because they will not stop. The wealthy narcissists, those who are wealthy, especially the greater narcissist, because he's very calculative, he's very intentional. And the greater narcissists don't usually get into your argument. They're not loud, they're just thinkers. And they think all day how to derail your mind, how to derail your emotions, how to derail your thoughts, how to derail your imagery. Some of them who even believe in black magic, sorcery, witchcraft, they're in your dreams. They send messages in your dreams. They talk to you in your dreams. And in your dreams, you find almost like a hypnotic effect. When you get up, you're doing exactly what they say, and you can feel the presence of evil all around you from having nightmares all night. And you find that your will has been subjected to their requests and their demands. And you almost feel helpless where you ask them for help. And then they make you think that something is wrong with you. But they don't stop until they get the money. It's in the bank, it's in their name, and your bank account is now their bank account. Now you can't even get your own money. They will not get you the code to their account now that your money is with them. They will not. So now they have total control. You can't write any checks, you can't make any withdrawals. You go to work and they've got you, convinced you to do direct deposit into your once shared account. Now is their account. Now everything you do, you are a working human slave of the 21st century in the U.S. of whatever part of the world you are in. They have total control of your finances, and they give you like a slave. They ration you out small amount of monies because you are just raging. So to keep you from raging, they give you tidbits while they massively spend your money from you and the children, and you find your style, your standards start to go down. You don't care for yourself. You can't care for the children. You're scraping food with a job, 2 people working, and you're hardly eating because they won't give. They don't care. So you will have to break out of this mode. You will have to break out of that control. You will have to fight to break out. And so when you're fighting to break out, it'll be good that you join with a person that you can trust, not a person that will be a flying monkey on their behalf, or lieutenants and sergeants on their behalf. Don't bring this person around for influence. You only communicate with this person out because they can take your phone and start communicating with the people on your phone, and you don't know about it. Then you find out the people are acting real different toward you because they have made them think something is wrong with you. And so you get a person that you can trust on the outside. You explain what has happened. There are many programs that can help you, programs that cater to domestic violence, and that include mental violence, because not all violence is physical. Some of it is mental, and all violence is violence. And now a lot of domestic violence centers have become aware of what you're going through and are able to cater to that in-home abuse. Or when you go to the doctor and you tell your doctor, I'm depressed, that doctor, once you say you're depressed, a different kind of care go in there. And the first thing they'll ask you, do you feel safe in your home? No, I don't feel safe in my home. And if they are aware, it's even more, how can I say, threatening for me. Then even doctors now are stepping in to assist women and men in homes who are children who are feeling very threatened. And when you can't get out, there are programs that will help you to get out. And there's many of them in your local cities that are out. And some of you can go to like the YMCAs and domestic violence centers, and they have walk-ins where you don't have an appointment, and you can go and tell them, I'm about to lose it. I need help. I am in total, he's totally controlling me. My finances are gone. I'm working every day, but I have no finance. Me and the kids are hungry. We're almost naked because he's controlling. He's abusive verbally, or if he's physically abusing you, always go to the doctor. Always go to the doctor. If you don't feel safe to call the police, always go to the doctor. You need a historical account, because if you ever go to court, this is going to help you in court. Narcissists have a way of turning court their way with sympathy or knowledge. And the spirit, there is a spirit. I know that I'm talking from the spiritual side. I'm not talking about your professional therapist or psychologist or psychiatrist. I'm talking from the spiritual side. The spiritual side is there is a force that is with them that can affect the environment of the court and minds of the people that are around. But when you got a historical account and it's there, they have to use factual information. They can't disengage the information you give them, and you have to make sure you pray for your lawyer. Keep that fog out of his mind. Keep his or her mind clear. But if you notice that you have a life and having life insurance, you have to be careful, because they can be very calculative. They get you to get life insurance, then all of a sudden stuff starts happening. You know, you're feeling sick. You notice that you're getting weaker. You notice that you're not thinking right. You notice that you're feeling nauseated, and nobody can find anything wrong with you. Have them check for things that are hard to find, arsenic, different things like that. Have them to check, look up different chemicals that the body may not originally display unless you are looking for that. Because when they request an insurance policy, that may be something behind that. And so be very careful when they talk insurance. It was a we policy. Now it's a you policy. When they talk a you policy, I will go on all alerts when you do that, because the narcissists then need to just wear you down, stress you out. And especially when it's a suicide attempt or a suicide matter, don't get where you feel like you want to take your life. If you feel like you want to take your life, get help. Have the mind and the strength, even in the midst of fall, where you go and get help. Help is available for you. If you have an older child, school and train that older child to look for you. And you got to make sure that the narcissist, you don't have that control, because sometimes he can have those children so scared, and he controls that house until they tell everything. That's why I was saying you have to have this one outside person, even if somebody on your job, somebody in your medical arena, a friend, a family member that is away from the narcissist, that is not influenced by the narcissist. When you are going through finances, they will go through, tell you to do different things on your taxes. Don't go for it, especially if you're a business owner and they tell you do not file taxes, let's keep the money, or they tell you to put different things on your taxes, and you know it is fraudulent. When distortion comes, it is to bring out of his true character, his true nature, and it is to implement something you know that is false, and they get you to bear the weight and the name of that, because they get you to put their name, your name, but they utilize your resources, and you are so addicted to them until your resistance level is at an all-time low. They get what they want when they want it. There is a part of you in the midst of knowing that wrong is occurring. A strength will come up in you at the point and at the time of that strength. Take that moment and maximize it, seize it, because you don't get too many moments like that where you're not broken down, where you're constantly dealing with the narcissist, you're constantly fighting, you're constantly keeping your mind on board, and then he changes your mind through gaslighting, word salad, lying, and manipulating. So you keep your mind, so when your mind is clear, you write things down, you hide it in a place he can't get it, because sometimes you need to remember about what you write, and this would be your target, your trigger to get things mentally back online. You make sure that you have a separate account. When you have a separate account, go get you a P.O. box. Don't have all of your information coming to you. Don't have all of your information coming to you. You need another alternative. You got to have another alternative. And then you find your friend and you discuss alternate alternative where your mail is coming. When you know it is a threat, you don't reveal all information. You will, most of you know and have already been discarded. And when you discarded, you started off with money, and now you left even wealthy people, millionaires. By the time the narcissists finished them, they was down to nothing. They had to go back to their families. They had to start back over. They had to go back to school. They had to go back to work, and they had to work like a slave. And they was once very wealthy. He took and spent everything, their millions, couldn't even make the interest because he was spending, or she was spending so fast. And based on the amount of money you have, is large items that they intentionally would purchase because they need you at their command. So they don't mind spending their money bringing you down. Be very, very, very wise. When you get a money flow quicker than your management, you must be able to manage your money flow. When you do not manage your money flow because it's flowing quicker than you manage, you getting destruction. Poverty will come on you so quick. It will come on you and you are not even aware that poverty is moving quicker than his spending, and your manage is moving slower. Your management got to be at the pace of spending or above. That's the only way. And spend at the pace of spending keeps track. Above spending keep you from debt. So you have to manage your money at the speed above your consumption, above their consumption. The only way you're going to do that is what does not go in their hands. And what does not go in their hands is what they are not aware of, because they will not stop. They will keep edging you and edging you and edging you and going after you for that money, for that money, for that money. And just by weariness alone, by tiredness alone, by stress alone, you give up because you're stressed out. It is not a matter of you being unintelligent. It's not a matter of you being, yes, weak, because they take your strength and they keep going until finally your strength leaves and the weakness stand, and all you have is the words they're saying in your head because your pockets are empty. When it comes to the narcissist and money, you got to be smarter than their manipulation. You have to be smarter than their strategy. If you are dating, go. H.G. Tudor, which is a greater narcissist, he said, once you know, you go and don't come back. I agree. Go and don't come back. If you are dating him, you're dating. You're not committed. If you don't wake up when you're dating, you're definitely not going to wake up when you're married. And if he know that you are getting ready to escape, if he know you're getting ready to go to freedom, and you have been a bank for him, or you have been a bank for her, they're going to come back in, and it may not be the golden moment, but they may give you the bronze moment, just enough to rehook you, just enough to love bomb you again. And they will go to any extreme if it takes going back to the golden moment, bypassing the bronze moment. They will love bomb because it's getting ready to explode. Because that love bombing is going to bond you back to the addiction, and you re-addicted to your predator. And a predator is a predator because they always look for prey. Many times we want people to change. We think they can change. That's our desires for them to change. It's not their desires. And just because we want them to change, don't mean they're going to change. Because we want them to turn, it doesn't mean they're going to turn. Because I want with all my heart, because I'm so in love with somebody who could care less for me. And I think that the power of my love is going to change them. No, the power of their choice change. And they have not made a choice to change. They will play you like a road book. If you want them to change, they will cry. They will do everything because their goal is your pocketbook. Your money is talking louder than the emotions you're saying. And so they will target and play any field. If you stand back and look, do you have evidence of triangulation? Do you have evidence that they're talking to someone? Do you have evidence of some wicked strategy that for your money? Do you see them talking to people about business, making promises, and you know they cannot fulfill that promise without your money? Are they leaving little signs? Because a lot of times they're immature. They can be great business people, but that narcissism don't allow certain things because the components will not equalize to strong, right emotions. It will always be something evil, vindictive, void, and empty. Money and the narcissist is a good combination with ignorance and weakness. Money and the narcissist, let it be their money and not your money. And if you're married and you find it difficult to separate, then don't. Start little trails. Separate accounts. Be unknown in a lot of your working. The narcissist is mystic. So do you. You plan for you. You plan for your child. Write it down. Don't trust your mind. Remember, they press on the mind and they press thoughts out of the mind, and fog come in. You won't remember. Write it down. Hide it away. Hide it away. Never sneak and look at things that are hidden while he's there. Never. No matter how you attempt it, don't. Never sneak and look at things that can be recorded in open places. Don't. Go to the store. Go away. Because they can be very calculative. Lower range, lower mid-range, upper mid-range, greater. The greater narcissist is one of the most dangerous ones. Because where the rest of them miss in calculation, the greater narcissists usually don't. It's intentional and it's planned. So you be wise, especially when you're dealing with the greater. Be very wise, be very quiet. When your heart is so filled with them, in a sexual moment, an intimate moment, it's not the time to talk. In a time when you're filled with affection, it's not the time to talk. Don't talk during that time. You will release the wrong information. Some of you got to be smart for you and smart for the children. You have to be. Money is a powerful combination when you want control in the hands of the wrong person. That's tremendous pain. Be aware of your moment. Be aware of the atmosphere. Be aware of their temperament. Be aware of their habits. Be aware of how they eat, how they play, how they feed, and what necessitate taking care of those things. Be aware of how much your money goes and how fast it goes and how hard you work and how tired you are. Be aware. In order to make your mind strong, commit to a book. Read. Get those brain muscles working. You need your brain sustained. Reading stimulates the brain. Get a problem that you have to solve, that is difficult to solve, that is going to take some research to solve. Get the brain working. Because in the midst of their addiction emotionally to them, you got to be able to think. You got to be able to plan. You have to be able to strategize. When you work, if the narcissist discard you after they know you have nothing, you will start from rock bottom. But many of you will start from rock bottom with children. They don't care if you have nowhere to go. With the children. You can be homeless with the children. And the narcissist will go on. The narcissist will move on to a new supply to do the same thing. If they're ever going to pull the reel, be the one to do it. Be very smart. Don't put everything there and don't say where everything is. You have to protect your family. I hope that this helped you. Money and the narcissist can be tremendous because the narcissist will take over your money and he will constantly nag you, she will constantly nag you and say all that they've done, but it was with your money. And when the money runs out, you will be blamed. Tax season, notice the behavior. You either get beaten and they take it, or they manipulate and they take it. Think about it. Think about it. Don't work hard and have no evidence to show for it. Because the narcissists feel once they have hooked you, everything attaches to you belongs to them. You may hear him say, you may hear her say, you're mine now. They literally mean that. To do anything they want to do at the cost of your life. The Bible said, money answereth all things. Why? You can't pay for healing, but you can pay for a good doctor. You can't pay for the law, but you can pay for a good lawyer. Money answereth all things. If you take it, you've lost your answer. God gives you wisdom. He hears you when you cry out to him. The Bible said, the righteous cry and the Lord hears and deliver them from all their troubles. In order to get deliverance from all, you got to have some strategy. God will make you a pure strategist, and you will strategize through all of the storms, winds, fires, and floods. You will strategize, and it will work in your benefit. I hope you've enjoyed this teaching. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Push the bell, and every time I upload a new teaching, you will be sure to be alerted. And those of you, please like and share the page. Help someone else, especially when it deals with finance. Let's lift each other up. Let's encourage each other. I love spending time with you. Thank you, all of my new subscribers. Thank you so much. I so appreciate and value you. Thank you for all of your comments. I love them. Please keep sending them. Email me, destinyhelper12s@gmail.com. destinyhelper12s@gmail.com. You say, Helen, I want to take this a little bit further. I need help. destinyhelper12s@gmail.com. I'm here and we can talk about it. We can engage wisely. When you work for it, have something to show for it. And if it's long term, then put interest with it. Don't come out empty-handed. All right. I'll see you on my next teaching. Remember, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. You have an awesome, awesome day.